Oi, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, bem-vindos a mais um Save Point. Estamos aqui para o Save Point 1362. O que é que vai rolar? VIDOC de Destiny Renegades. Nova expansão do Destiny chega próxima semana, próxima terça. E eu não assisti mais cedo por motivos de correria no trabalho. Fiquei maluco de não assistir na hora, mas segurei pra gente ver ao vivo aqui. Então tem uma hora aqui no YouTube dizendo stream, mas deve ter um pouquinho menos. Deixa eu só diminuir um pouquinho aqui, agora que eu tô vendo que a câmera tá muito grande, né? Deixa um pouquinho mais. Estou posicionando ainda as coisas aqui no escritório. Tem que ajeitar essa árvore. A árvore de Natal tá bem atrás, ó. Tem que ajeitar. Mas enfim, gente, vamos começar este belo stream. Espera aí que eu tô vendo também que a própria tela do stream tá um pouquinho megas, né? Vem mais pra cá, vem mais pra cá. Isso. Mais pra cá um pouco. Isso, agora sim. Gente, vamos começar bom stream. Estamos aqui no cardápio como é de noite. Preciso dormir bem. Um belo chazinho, saúde. Contemple minha bela caneca natalina. Temos também H2O, conhecido como água. Importante se hidratar, bebam água. E Dictutes para beliscar. Rapaz, é uma gordice. Que mudaram a fórmula. Está muito bom esses pães de mel aqui. Tabalduco estão um espetáculo. Se você gosta de canela, mande ver. Tá, agora que passamos pelo cardápio. Deixa eu puxar aqui um pouquinho. Olha como fica legal a vibe. Eu meti essa luz amarela aqui na cara. Mas se eu tirar, ó, fica vibes, hein? Com a sola de Natal. Vamos seguir assim? Vamos seguir assim. Engraçado que a luz amarela eu vou apagar. Ela tá atrás do monitor. Vou apagar, vamos ver se tem diferença. Ah, ela dá uma. Ela compõe um pouquinho ali. Mas enfim, vamos começar, gente. Deixa eu abrir aqui a parte do chatline. Abrir o chatline, qualquer coisa vocês falem. E vamos lá, dar o play. Começou, hein? Vamos lá. Calma, lembrando, Destiny 2 Renegades é uma expansão junto em parceria com a LucasArts, ou seja, é Star Wars dentro de Destiny, só que é tudo inspirado em Star Wars, mas é uma história oficial, segue a história oficial iniciada dessa nova saga com The Edge of Fate, lá em julho, e só que com muitos elementos de Star Wars, é realmente uma homenagem a uma das franquias que inspirou Destiny. Vamos lá.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them. The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over. No! I've been waiting so long for this. Dredge and hope.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal, the Barrent Imperium, sprung up out of nowhere across the system. That doesn't just happen. It's the Nine, and I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, Weapon?
Welcome to the new Mars. Now the only law on Tharsis is the gun on your hip and the light in your hands. You'll do well here. I don't relish doing business with these leeches. But we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
Whoa.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
Ui, que combo lindo. Esse jetpack do Titan. Lembrando, Michael Motherfucking Salvatore de volta para essa expansão.
The Imperium is yours to lead.
Simplesmente compositor de Halo e compositor de tudo de Destiny.
We meet.
Até menos Edge of Fate.
Only one play left.
Belo trailer. Belo trailer. Seguimos na saga dos 9. Animal. E o Drifter chamando a gente de Weapon, né? Que nem os Nine chamam.
All right.
Game
Hey everybody, welcome to Bungie, or our cantina today. We have converted our stream room in celebration of our upcoming release, Destiny 2 Renegades, collaborative effort with Lucasfilm Games. We are so excited. My name is Dylan. I'm going to be your host today. We have a lot to go through. Have a few housekeeping notes before we dive in. Ultimately, if you are on Twitch, if you watch for 15 minutes, we have a fantastic emblem for you to earn, Seekers Not Saints. Make sure your Bungie.net account is linked and you will earn this reward. Additionally, our community team, hey community team, love you. They're going to be going through chat throughout this stream and after we raid Leopard Stealth, one of our good friends. We have 25 Year of Prophecy digital editions to be handing out. So make sure your DMs are open. Keep an eye out for a DM from Bungie. And yeah, you might get yourself a code for a platinum platform that we offer. So what are we talking about here today? We just had our launch trailer. Destiny 2 Renegades is launching in 7 days. Countdown right now. 7 days from now, you're going to be in there playing. We got blasters. We got the Praxic Blade. We have a new VIDOC that actually we are sharing today. And this is going to be called Making of a Renegade. So after we watch our VIDOC, we have a panel of developers on the couch. We're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier, our new activity that is coming with this experience, full of loot, full of fun experiences, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's watch a new VIDOC, VIDOC 2, Making of a Renegade. Take it away.
Let's go. VIDOC 1. Começando.
This is
Dois.
Destiny with a Star Wars lens, like this really cool combination that hasn't been done before.
I can't wait to take a Praxic Blade to Mars.
Don't be a ridiculous fan. Just stay cool.
Hey, we gotta swat it up and play through. Oh, yeah.
Esse jetpack.
This is why we got into games in the first place.
Minha gente, olha os drinks dele, tem um negócio fosforescente. Opa. Opa, mapinha novo, vamos ver.
North Star,
Olha os drinks.
authentically Destiny, unmistakably Star Wars. It has to be something that feels like a Destiny story. It can't feel like a one-off. This can't feel like a side quest, right? Like this has to be a continuation
Animal.
of
Não
the Fate
pode
saga.
parecer uma side quest, um spin-off.
I got
É a
this
continuação
vision.
da saga principal.
I knew it came from the Nine.
But with Star Wars beats and Star Wars visual.
This was uncharted territory for Lucasfilm Games, and that this is the first time we're telling a story inspired by Star Wars within a different universe.
At the heart of like I think every
Gente,
Guardian's
a
identity is like this
transição.
healthy,
A transição clássica de Star Wars. Vejam, vejam. Faz é uma das. Ó, agora faz.
Lucasfilm Games, and
Ó.
that this is the first
Vai
time
bem-
we're telling a story inspired
Bem
by
macia,
Star
bem
Wars
smooth. Ó.
within a different
Da esquerda pra
universe.
direita. Olha,
at
que
the heart
coisa
of like I
linda.
think every Guardian's identity is like this healthy, independent, rebellious streak.
We were excited to actually explore
Olha, isso é da
that
Lucasfilm.
scoundrel fantasy, bounty hunters, the syndicates going out and doing jobs with a ragtag team. We took inspiration from Star Wars to ensure the scale, visual language, soundtrack, and cinematic storytelling in Renegades
cenário lindo.
delivered on everything fans will have come to expect from the franchise.
The Praxic Blade collaboration stands out to me.
Wow.
Because lightsabers are so iconic, it was absolutely critical to get that balance right.
The team at Lucasfilm Games was just so solutions focused. It wasn't, it has to be this way. It was a lot of back and forth and asking questions about how would this work? Well, let's talk about it. All right. Oh, so we need a different energy source. Okay. What would that look like?
It was all about like what is best for the player.
When we announced this collaboration with the studio,
Que
James
mapa
may or
legal.
may not have been wearing a fighter pilot helmet.
Yeah. Destiny and Star Wars shared that same beating heart. I was like, oh, this is gonna be special.
Outra transição linda. Ixi. Olha os Vex das Bets.
we were given such a unique
Allison!
challenge. How can we achieve the aesthetic and the feel of Star Wars without losing the narrative threads that we've created so far for Destiny at the same time?
It wasn't until we found our footing with creating a foundation in Destiny that things started to click together.
I remember the first time that we went down to San Francisco. We had this really big meeting where it was the Destiny narrative folks on one side and the Star Wars narrative folks on the other side. We broke the ice by just asking, what's the bad version of this? We had a really good laugh over what that looked like. And through that, we kind of uncovered that this should be the aesthetic, the vibe of Star Wars with the truth to Destiny's narrative that we knew needed to be there too.
Puta
Began
transição
2 months
linda.
after the Edge of Fate has happened. The world has moved and changed, and we're still trying to figure out what Binding the Nine means.
Que
The
campanha,
Vanguard
Edge of
have
Faith. Que campanha,
redacted
amigos.
The prophecy of extinction.
They don't want the public to panic over this prophecy.
The crux of our story is the Drifter asking us to help him break Vanguard law for good reason to confront a new rising faction of Cabal called the Barren Imperium. It's what drives Eris to help the Drifter out, as well as the player Guardian.
When we were thinking about what kinds of characters should be in this release, we thought about the kinds of archetypes we see throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, and Drifter is an easy parallel. He and Han Solo share a cocky attitude, both former criminals.
In Star Wars, there's a plethora of sassy droids. We have our own version of that through Ghosts, and Blue is no exception.
Oh, look. Thanks for nothing.
Blue is a Drifter's ghost, and I think as soon as people hear her, they'll be delighted and incredibly surprised.
Our voice cast is stacked. Dredgen Bale is portrayed by Alex Lee, who is amazing.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them.
And we also got Hollywood actual royalty Danny Houston to play Premier Loom, the head of the Barren Imperium. Being able to work with someone from that kind of IMDb page was such an honor, and I was completely normal the whole time.
Surrender to the Barren Imperium.
Loom became this sweeping militaristic figure
Animal.
that I think is going to be a really good parallel to Grand Moff Tarkin or other evil military leaders from the Empire.
So even though we're introducing new characters, we're still looking backwards at some of Destiny lore's most long-standing characters. Honor is another example of that. She's our Praxic warlock.
She's loosely meant to be a parallel to something like a Jedi in Star Wars. She was part of a Vanguard internal affairs group that would police Guardians on the usage of darkness.
Don't make me regret abandoning my post to help you.
Que animal.
Yeah, she has to grow up with the times a little bit, because the world has changed and a whole lot of people are using darkness now, and she gets to grow and kind of ask herself, like, am I still adhering to my own values if I allow myself to be open to these kinds of ideas?
The Drifter belongs with us.
The Drifter left your cult long ago.
And then there's Bale, Dredgen Bale.
Dredgen is a dark guardian that represents absolute darkness.
Dredgen Bale doesn't like the fact that we're ruled by a city of immortals who can't step down and that weren't elected. He's got kind of a point, but his methods for addressing that point suck. He makes many bad choices. One of my favorite parts about a lot of villains in Star Wars is that they have just like the capability of making a right choice and then consistently do not make good choices.
Bale is trying to fill a hole
Nossa,
in
que
his life
cena,
in all
bicho.
the wrong ways.
And he just
Wow.
can't, and he never will. But man, we're gonna hope that he does someday.
The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
Ah. Que
This has
animal.
been an opportunity where you love Destiny, you love Star Wars, you want to do something with both. What are you going to put into it?
Oh my god, it was such a challenge at first, finding that sweet spot of how do we make something that can live in both worlds and not feel out of place in either, but also feel totally new and exciting. It wasn't always about where do we find the exact middle ground, 50-50 Star Wars and Destiny, because at that point, you're feeling almost a little derivative.
There's those moments along the way when we were like, this is just Star Wars. This is not the purpose of the collaboration. We want to have something kind of new that makes you think of both. I remember when we were trying to figure out what we're going to do with our new Cabal.
We started in that place where it's just Cabal wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we injected more of that weird alien design of a lot of these armor sets. That was kind of what switched it
animal.
over from
Olha
this
aquele
is
do
too
fundo.
derivative to this is really working. I think it comes through in the visuals and every
Fala, Vini Unizão.
There are little Easter
E aí,
eggs
será
and
que essa
little
parceria
treats
pode ser
here
a
and there
salvação
that
do
we
jogo ou
hit
não tem mais
around,
volta? Os
and
tempos
Lucasfilm
bons.
Games has been awesome at
Vini,
collaborating with us and even putting some
vou
of
até
their
dar um
input
pause
onto our
aqui. A melhor Band que pelo menos que a gente vê, a melhor Band é quando ela tá contra a parede, né? Quando o Dash não tinha mais jeito, é o fim dos tempos e tal, a Band tava contra a parede, meteu o The Taken King, né? Salvou o jogo. Aí depois a gente teve o lançamento de Destiny 2, aquela bagunça, as armas, tudo com o mesmo roll, contra a parede, pouquíssima gente, assim, se continuasse assim, né? Tem umas entrevistas dizendo que se continuar assim, a gente vai fechar as portas, bicho. Tem pouquíssima gente. E aí, isso, depois do Curse of Osiris, da Warmind lá também, aí eles meteram Forsaken, né? Salvaram o mundo de novo. Eu acho que vai. Eu acho que o grande problema que Destiny enfrenta é um grande problema que não só jogo, né? Um monte de franquia, um monte de coisa no mundo, na verdade, enfrenta. Ódio gratuito, né? Tem muito problema, tem muita coisa, mas isso é do jogo vivo, né? Do jogo que tá sempre aí. Acerta, erra, acerta umas coisas, erra outras. A gente vem, acho que é o segundo ano dessas experimentações, né? Ano passado com os episódios. Eu achei que os episódios começaram devagar, depois melhoraram no fim do ano, principalmente com os dois últimos episódios. Esse ano já está com essa experimentação de uma expansão média no meio do ano, expansão no fim, né? Vai se tirando as coisas e vai se melhorando. Eu acho que vai dar bom. Eu acho que tem muito ódio gratuito, tem muito ódio de quem nunca jogou, de quem não joga há anos, sabe? Só por dizer o jogo morreu. É porque a gente adora dizer, né? Que aquilo que a gente não se diverte, que tem gente se divertindo, eles estão errados. Mas eu acho que dá bom, sim. Assim, eu jogo Destiny desde sempre. O primeiro eu peguei no finzinho, assim, eu joguei um pouco no começo, depois peguei no finzinho, perto do 2, maratonei as seasons, assim, as expansões. Depois fui pro 2. O 2 eu peguei tarde. Vê só, eu joguei o 2, o Alpha, joguei o Beta. Aí quando lançou, eu não lembro porque eu não fui. Enfim, um backlog imenso, gigante, de sempre. Aí 2019, eu vi um trailer do Shadowkeep. Meu Deus, por que eu parei de jogar isso? Eu adorava esse negócio. Aí voltei a jogar com tudo. E assim, tem épocas que realmente a gente joga menos, né? E eu tento entender que como um jogo vivo é bom ter essas épocas também, por esses motivos do backlog gigante, né? Eu tento ter poucas expectativas, tipo assim, antigamente eu tinha expectativa, eu todo dia tenho que ter conteúdo em Destiny para jogar toda hora livre que eu quiser. Mas é uma expectativa muito, muito saliente, né? Pro negócio. Tá dizendo que ele joga desde o 1 e tá sofrido atualmente. Tá, eu acho que poucas vezes eu joguei tão pouco um jogo, uma expansão de Destiny, entre expansões, sabe? Eu adorei o Edge of Fate, assim, eu gostei demais da campanha. Eu não achava que a história ia me pegar tanto depois do Final Shape, né? Daquela apoteose absurda, maravilhosa. Mas a história super me pegou, eu vibrava com o negócio, eu queria ver o próximo capítulo. E eu joguei muito, muito o primeiro mês. Só que a danada das seasons que a gente fez, a gente assim, eu digo em geral, né? A gente, até eu mesmo pensava, tipo, que eu tento ter muita boa vontade com Destiny. Porque já me fez muito feliz, então deixa eu dar uns créditos pra ele. É, a danada das seasons, que tanto se criticava, que tem que mudar e tal, as danadas fazem falta, bicho. No fim das contas, faz falta aquela missãozinha toda semana, por mais simples que seja, né? A gente tá naquele episódio novo, vamos dizer assim, da série. Eu acho que isso fez muita falta. Entre expansões eu joguei muito pouco. Mas agora eu tô empolgadaço. E 10 dias depois do lançamento, eu entro de férias, graças ao bom Deus, aí vai ser de noite. Vamos seguir aqui no chat. Pelo menos se fazia voltar semanalmente. Pois é, eu voltava e assim, eu sempre tentei trazer muito amigo pra jogar Destiny e nunca consegui direito. Porque assim, é muito difícil, né? Você que um cara que nunca jogou Destiny entrar, entender tudo, pegar a história e tal, não sei o quê. Eu acho que isso vai acontecer com um Destiny 3 um dia, sei lá. Ou quando virar série, quando virar alguma coisa assim bem feita, que a galera se interesse e venha jogar, né? É, mas eu sempre dizia para os amigos que eu tentava fazer jogar com essa história de voltar semanalmente. Ah, é muito tempo, consumo muito tempo. Pô, bicho, joga só a história. Devagarzinho, tem um monte de expansão, vive em seio as antigas. Entra, joga a missão de história. E quando tiver nas seasons, volta na terça-feira. Se você jogar a missão, as missões da semana, dá uma hora e meia. Você tá feliz ali, ó, tem aquele negocinho contínuo que dá pra construir uma história muito mais rica, né? Você ter esses beats semanais e tal, não sei o quê. Enfim, tô tranquilo e tô super esperançoso que vai dar bom. E teve muita mudança de direção, né? O CEO lá saiu, o Pete Parsons. Ainda não deu tempo de sentir o dedo a Sony tá com a mão mesmo, né? Agora na Band. Vamos ver. 2025, 26 vai ser um ano crucial, né? Para Band em geral, e eu acho que vai dar bom. Eu acho que eles estão tratando com carinho o Marathon também, que não teve um começo bom com os alfas e tal, com aquele negócio do plágio de arte, mas tô bem otimista. Vamos seguir, vamos seguir. E brigadão aí pela companhia.
Map so we can really give the players something exciting.
The switch flipped in my head like, oh, we would never have done this without this collaboration was the syndicates.
Yeah.
We're going places with the Vex and the Elixni and
Olha.
the Cabal that we really weren't going to go before.
Oh yeah, and trench
Os
coats.
visuais dos animais estão mais legais, dos animais, dos inimigos estão mais legais que no Edge of Fate, pelo menos. Porque no Edge of Fate eles só tinham aquela mutação lá da...
No, and it was the
Estranho.
perfect time in our universe to do it too. The Star Wars fans on the team just start coming out, telling their stories about what they're excited to build, and far be it for me to get in the way.
We make a lot of weapons in Destiny. How do you take a weapon in Destiny, which we have literal like 4 digits of guns, and
Understatement.
right, and make something that feels new but also does justice for Star Wars? And Blaster was really obviously the choice. They're roughly in 2 groups. There's dynamic blasters, which are intended to be harder hitting, firing a ton.
Aí é onde tá o maior Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V com Star Wars, né? Nas armas. O que não é um problema, de jeito nenhum.
And then we have a number of balance blasters. As you're shooting and the heat is building up, you're going to have
Submachine
a
gun,
venting
né?
opportunity where you can hit a perfect vent. It's like functionally a reload, so you can start shooting again much faster.
Sweet. I gotta ask though, what about those Cabal blasters? Are they accurate?
What difficulty are you playing on? We have swords in Destiny, but we don't have a praxic sword. We don't have
We do not.
a lightsaber proximate. It's an exotic primary weapon that's kinetic.
Exótico
Flex
primário.
glass.
Exótico primário.
Kill enemies with it and throw it out and get a ton of damage.
Ah, build com Stronghold promete. Que é isso?
Having the sandbox be able to explain this new
Espetáculo de
ability
animação.
ecosystem with Renegade abilities. We've taken so much of this opportunity and turned it into what we can like grow.
Every corner of the game, from the art, the design, the audio, the music, the UI, the rewards, completely infused with the magic of the collaboration. It's really been a real treat to be a part of.
Yeah, super satisfying.
Cadê o homem? O Salvatore. Cadê o homem? Olha ele aí! Ele voltou! Lendário compositor de Destiny. Lendário compositor de Halo.
The overarching theme for this was to create a score for this
Que
release that
coisa
felt like it was
maravilhosa.
cohesive as a whole. we're all talking to each other and collaborating with each other. We were able to explore different ways of orchestrating, different ways of writing with the orchestra that expand on the Destiny palette and make it fresh and new. When I look at the Star Wars scores, there were certain elements that naturally fit string flourishes or wood flourishes that would play into a certain moment. When it's like, oh, I know I want something to feel more Williams, so I'll push it, not this Williams, the John Williams. I'll push it more in that world.
Another thing too is the amount of percussion. I had some ideas that felt more full-on Star Wars, and once you like flesh out the percussion arrangement, it instantly sounds more Destiny as a result.
For me, a lot of it was about framing, where when I use a lot of the Destiny themes, how I set them up and how I'm transitioning in and out of moments are much more Star Wars-y in terms of the harmony and orchestration.
I think the most exciting part about this was the opportunity to work with these guys and Mike.
You definitely made it a point to kind of bring us together and listen to each other's music.
But Brendan, you wrote something with the most beautiful oboe solo in it, and it drives me nuts that I didn't think of it first.
No one wanted to follow Brendan is what it came down to. Brendan's cues just sound amazing from the start.
I remember knowing your first high action cue. Everyone was like, whoa! Because it's really fast, really intense. Josh kept on like spinning around and looking at you.
Humans have to play this. Jeez.
Destiny has like so many themes, and that's like a great vehicle for doing the Star Wars spin.
Our first meeting was discussing that main theme, and I remember hearing it for the first time. And everybody kind of perked up when we all heard it. We're all having ideas that were just a little bit different from one another. That was all sort of impacted what the final version of the theme was.
Dredge and Bale. That kind of teed off the main theme, and the fact that we were exploring the idea of this kind of anti-Guardian character set in this story of scoundrels. We wanted something that would be a backbone to tell a longer arc story. It has a layer of ominousness to it, it has a layer of mystery to it, but it can be turned other ways.
I felt a sense of menace.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to get to experience it with players.
Just really hope that, personally, I've written something that they can really connect with and love, and if I can cause a couple of goosebumps in there, I'll take that as a bonus too.
I hope players get taken on a journey that inspires them and makes them feel like
sentindo que vai ser das boas, hein?
Really unique and really special.
É sempre legal que eles soltam o soundtrack antes que o jogo sair pouco, geralmente na semana. Deve se lançar agora, fim de semana. E aí é legal, eu gosto de trabalhar ouvindo antes. E eu acho que dos últimos anos a que eu mais adoro assim, é a do Lightfall. A trilha sonora do Lightfall é boa demais, bicho. A do Final Shape é emocionante porque volta muitos temas conhecidos, né? De Destiny. Na verdade, o Fate eu achei mais. Tem seus momentos que brilha ali, mas achei mais. Compõe só ali, sabe? Não empolga, não empolga. A trilha.
All right, welcome back to the Cantina. So what you just saw was our second VIDOC, Making of a Renegade, or What It Takes to Make a Renegade. This is our moment to really peel back the curtain and show you how games are made. It's a monumental effort, and what you saw, it was a mix of our narrative design, audio, our collaboration efforts with Lucasfilm Games. Many thanks to everyone involved. Also, a few folks that weren't pictured there, ranging from design, production, test. Even a shout out, I gotta give it to IT for keeping our computers running, and our services folks too for keeping our servers running. So, Today we're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier. This is our new activity coming with Destiny 2 Renegades, and we have 3 developers on our
Nova
couch
atividade,
to
vamos
talk
lá.
us through what we're seeing. It'll be a fun deep dive. So without further ado, let's get some introductions. Eric Smith, we're starting with you.
DMG, Damage 04. Yes, my name is Eric Smith. I am a combat design lead on Destiny 2. You may know me from my work where I was the design lead on the Strand subclasses. I started kind of making the stasis abilities, and most recently the Renegades ability buffs.
Awesome. Yeah, next up, Tom Farnsworth. This is the first time that you and I are in a stream together, but a quick introduction for folks that may not have seen you in previous VIDOCs.
Yeah, so I'm Tom, the creative lead for Renegades, and I've been at Bungie for like, I don't know, I can't even remember, like 13, 14 years. Worked on Destiny 1, Destiny 2. The highlights were probably like Dreaming City, Season of the Splicer, 30th and Into Light were the most
Careca
recent things I worked
imponente
on
do
leading
rapaz,
this,
e
but this
olha
has
o
been
cuidado com a
absolute
careca
blast to
dele.
work on.
Awesome. Yeah,
Fica
thanks for
o
joining us
destaque.
today. And last but not least, our grid skipper aficionado, Taylor Bjorndal. How you doing?
Great. Yeah, Taylor Bjorndal, associate weapons designer. Here to talk about all the awards and blasters and the practice played and all the other stuff we made for you to chase.
Awesome. Yeah, so just for folks, if you end up missing anything, if we go a little bit fast, we got a lot to pack through. We'll have a VOD on Twitch and YouTube after this. And if you missed our VIDOC or the launch trailer, those will be uploaded as well. So what we're seeing on screen right now, we're launching into our Lawless Frontier activity. Tom, I would love to put the spotlight on you. Let's give a quick description. What is the Lawless Frontier?
So the Lawless Frontier is our core game mode in Renegades. You're going to play through some of the campaign, but it's really what comprises our end game. And the idea is that you're a renegade, you're taking on these shady jobs like bounty hunting, smuggling and sabotage from our syndicates, and you're doing so to increase your notoriety, your power, and your riches, and of course to get some sweet loot.
Yeah, and when you talk about bounty hunting, sabotaging, that kind of stuff, those are different types of this activity, right?
Yeah, their bounty hunting is all about taking out a key syndicate boss. Sabotage is about blowing the heck out of everything.
Tem duas variações dessa atividade nova. Uma é eliminar um inimigo específico, enfim, um alvo. E o outro é explodir alguma parte de uma base, uma coisa assim. Mas para uma atividade endgame que ele falou, se só tem 2 modos dentro, tem que ter mais variação, né? Vamos ver o que.
Kind of a unique experience, and you're going to be able to pick your renegade abilities in there from your little shank buddy that's in there. You'll hop aboard Hawk, and you'll drop down to the destination. You can see we're already
a espada, o sabre de luz é primário, mas a munição é especial.
Venus and Europa, and there's 2 maps on each destination.
O sonho da espada de munição infinita se foi.
And right now we're doing a bounty hunt, and we're working to draw out the intel officers to track down where our target is. After this, there'll be resurgence of the security forces of that target. They'll have a classic boss fight, but with a bunch of wrinkles thrown in for gameplay here of things, hazards that are at play, your abilities, maybe an invader, which we'll talk about later, and then you'll exfil with your bounty and get some loot and take that back to our social space, Tharsis Junction, where you'll be able to spend your currencies to buy.
Não entendi direito ainda a paradinha dessa, tipo a moedinha do Drifter, né, que ele joga. Quando ele joga fica íconezinho
But we
no
have
chão.
new abilities, renegade abilities, that are going to be for this activity. And Eric, you're going to be our person of knowledge here.
Yeah.
What do we got on screen?
Yeah, so Renegade Abilities is a new ability system we have in Renegades. What you do is we have a brand new button for you to press.
Causou dano não, ó, fica um item ali, é um buff, acho que é um buff.
And that's going to kind of switch you into a different mode that gives you new abilities for
Um buff no estilo daquele Days of Eternity, será? Aquela atividade lá do Shu. Tem uns buffs de granada, de recarregar o melee, será?
Provides you with ability energy, and then we have the other one, which is the deflector shield, which is this zone I can sit inside and shoot out of, and it blocks all the incoming damage. It's also going to, for my allies who are inside the shield, it will amplify them, and then jolt any enemies who pass through it. And all of these have 7 levels of upgrades. So
Nossa.
when you first start, they will have certain functionality and certain strength, and as you upgrade them, they're going to get better and better.
Olha aí, eles meteram Vampire Survival, rapaz.
The gameplay.
Essas habilidadezinhas da moedinha, cada uma tem 7 níveis de upgrades ao longo do modo. Aí sim. Que aí é um negocinho dos upgrades Vampire Survivors, é um negocinho dos modos Horda lá, né?
In this mode, we have non-regenerating health. So things like that revitalize Renegade ability are really going to come in handy to be like, we need to take a break and heal. Let's pop over here to some safety, and anyone can build into that if that's what they want. You know, we have things like vehicles that you can pull in, or you can call down from your ship. So that's one thing. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, well, before we get to the ship, actually, let's talk a little bit more about the health mechanics in here. Because we had this in some previous activities like Nether, and we got a ton of great feedback on like how much you get back, how you get it back, and I've seen already in this activity, as you're going through, there are some pots, there's some ways that you can get it, there are the Renegades abilities, but Tom, if you want to talk a little bit more about it.
We took Nether as a base, but I'd say this is a little bit more forgiving. The way that health works is, yeah, you've got a large pool of health. It does not regenerate at the top level, but if you get down to 0, it will regenerate to the base shield, so you have some of the red flashing screen, and you can
Legal, tem aquela mecânica do Nether, né? Que é do último episódio do ano passado, a atividade do episódio Heresy do ano passado, que o HP não recupera. Você tem que pegar itens e usar builds que recuperem, habilidades que recuperem HP, mas é um pouco mais light, né? Ele falou que se você chegar perto de 0, ele sempre vai subir ao menos ao nível do escudo mínimo, né?
When we're using our Renegade abilities, I think earlier outside of the Vex Dome, there was kind of like an airstrike that happened too, right?
Yeah, we have a strafing run that you can upgrade, and your ship, so the one that you have customized and put your shader on, will fly through the arena and drop bombs in sequence, right? And as I upgrade this, it gets more and more devastating until it like is, you know, but beyond any of the supers we have in the game. It's incredible. There's another one that is the Cabal drop pod, and what that does is, you know, if you're familiar with the Cabal drop pod, it is this giant metal ball that slams into the ground, and in this case, it is almost like a supply drop because it's full of ammo, and it's also going to squish anything under it, and it does incredible damage. Not only that, but it will damage you and your teammates, so you got to be really careful.
It will delete them.
Yeah, just delete them. You got to be careful where you drop this.
Offensive supply drop.
Yeah, but you can be the Cabal now. You can turn it around on them.
Yeah. So Bjorndal, we've had you kind of sitting quiet over there. I'd love to talk about the blasters that our players have been using. So in the VIDOC, we were talking about the balanced blaster and the dynamic blaster. Can you break down each, just a quick review of each, and then we can talk through some of the reload mechanics?
Yep, sure. So yeah, we have 2 sets of blasters, or 2 different kinds of blasters. The dynamics are like more aggressive.
O visual delas que é lento, né? Vamos ter que meter uns belos shaders aí pra dar
their weight class, but they're like a little bit harder
brilho.
to manage heat on. The balanced blasters is more like a rain of bullets. Like I'm just gonna unload on a big pack of stuff and like really have like a deep mag.
Cool. And what you can see on screen right here, these are going to be all the blasters that you can get from running our Lawless Frontier activity, and then we'll actually have a slate of blasters that you can earn through the dungeon, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But yeah, when it came to really balancing blasters and bringing them into Destiny as a new kind of weapon type, I would love to hear what were the challenges, what was some of the fun in developing those things with the team?
Absolutely, yeah. So like one of the things that was in the VIDOC was kind of finding the balance of like how much Star Wars versus how much Destiny we wanted on these things, and it was a collaborative effort with basically everybody on the team. These were Mercule's project for most of this release, but it was like a big effort on design, test, animation, audio to really sell the experience of using these and to make them look and feel apart for like what people would expect from both the Destiny gun and the Star Wars blaster.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of of loot and gear. Our Guardian right now is using the new Praxic Blade and also getting smashed by a Cabal drop pod. But I'd love to hear about the customization that y'all developed for this. And this can be Tom and Bjorn talk to it, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so you're going to get the Praxic Blade by collaborating with Honor throughout the campaign. She's going to like deem you worthy of earning it. You'll go on a cool little quest that I don't want to spoil to earn one for yourself. And then post-campaign, you're going to unlock the ability to customize it. You're going to be able to change out your dark matter crystals and change the color of the blade to match.
Que legal! Depois da campanha a gente pode personalizar algumas coisas desse sabre de luz.
Elements, right?
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can kind of swap to fit your playstyle on this.
Torcendo que tenha muita side quest, que nem o Edge of Faith. Durante e depois, né, quando a gente termina a campanha, ainda parecem boas missões para se fazer.
You can get ammo back and give you some damage bonuses based off of different gameplay styles, and the cores let you apply subclass verbs to a different part of what the weapon does, depending on something that matches your subclass. So like, you can add sever to like the saber throw, or something else like weaken or jolting.
Yeah, it creates these really cool combos where I am strike, I'm throwing to debuff enemies and then getting it back and striking again.
Yeah, and during a couple of our trial runs with this, you were talking about there are some animations and different combos in your melee structure, right?
Yeah. So there's like a 3 or 4 hit combo you can do where you will end it with like a big spinny move that's like very thematic, almost kind of like how the Arc Staff has like the little hidden combo there.
Awesome.
I did want to call out, we also saw the Renegade ability, the turret that we have. It is called the Piker Mortar, and it is like the strongest.
Valeu, Vinho. Boas noites. Obrigadão pela companhia. Boa semana. Até a próxima.
It is a really nice, I'm going to throw this thing out to manage this part of the map. Yeah, while I deal with other stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, so as we're coming to the end of this activity, I'd love to just know kind of some of the narrative dressing. So as you're going into the Lawless Frontier, it's our activity, but also kind of like the feel of this experience. And there's a turf war going on. I know, Robbie, in a previous stream, we were talking about the turf war a bit, but Tom, if you could expand on that and how that sets up this activity.
Sure. So in the end game, the syndicates are in this kind of ongoing turf war across Mars, Venus, and Europa, and you can kind of take advantage of that by taking on their contracts that they offer and kind of winning out the day for them. But in doing so, you can extract maximum power, profits, rewards from them, and you can take anything you earn through engaging in these jobs and completing these priority contracts they offer. You can go back to the social space. You can they each have their own reward track, like the Pikers, the Tharsis Reformation. They offer weapons to unlock, new abilities, upgrades for those abilities, some elements or mods for the Praxic Blade, and a whole bunch of other things like some shaders too. So you can kind of like rep your favorite syndicate on your armor, which is pretty cool.
Será que a gente tem outros cenários para essa missão ou é só Marte? Para essa atividade é só Marte?
Everything from this mode ties into the holo map, into the different mini game modes within it, into the social space. So like it's going to be.
Dá uma cansada, né? Tudo vermelho o tempo inteiro.
Maybe get into some
laranja.
the darker corners like Invasion.
Yeah, and I mean, so we've progressed. We've defeated the boss that we were hunting down for our bounty hunt. And this portion of the activity is kind of emblematic of we're in a lawless frontier that's dangerous. Even after you finish your objective, now it looks like you got to fight your way out.
Yeah, so every job in the lawless frontier, in this case bounty hunt, like it escalates over time. So it gets harder the longer you're there. So there's real pressure to get in, do your objective, and get out. Just so like right now we're in the exfil. This is the final moments of the activity. You send up a flare, you call your ship in, the Cabal are pouring down on you here, you're throwing out your renegade abilities, and you're just trying to survive until your ship gets there. In this case, each of the 3 jobs, bounty hunt, smuggle, and sabotage, have their own unique mechanic. So for bounty hunt, you have to take out these 3 mini bosses, which we call retaliators here.
Yeah, so as our fire team is fighting their way out, we actually do have a preview of a fun exotic that's coming with the reward pass in Destiny 2 Renegades.
Opa,
I believe
mais
we have a
exótico.
preview that we can share. But Bjorndal, if you could give a quick overview of our exotic machine gun.
Yeah, so this is the Service of Luzaku. It's a very unique machine gun. It's almost like a necromancer, broodweaver theme where you turn your enemies into these little nests of threadlings that you can like shoot and then spawn more and like build it up to control like a space.
Yeah, and threadlings just got a buff, correct?
Threadlings did get a buff. They're smarter than they were before.
Yeah, and sorry, to segue more appropriately, over the last few weeks we've been doing a series of blog articles with y'all on the Sandbox team talking about the core game updates coming to Destiny 2 available to all players. So we have a lot of quality of life changes that are coming to your supers, your subclass abilities, all that kind of stuff that we just previewed yesterday. One of which, Warlock focused, was around threadlings, your strand abilities. Yeah, if you want to cover that really quick.
Yeah, so you can see here the Warlock is moving while rifting, which is a huge kind of quality of life upgrade that allows you to dodge attacks, get into cover, close the gap while you're casting your ability. Works really well with the new Warlock exotic as well. So there are, if you haven't seen that article we put out yesterday, please check it out. There's a lot of great buffs. We've shown hunters a lot of love. We love our hunters. We want them to feel powerful.
Yeah, we saw some feedback with the exotic tuning article. Hunters were like, "Sure, wait, I want to see more." Which in the future we will definitely have more. But in the abilities
love to talk
preview,
about the future, but we can't. But because there's a lot of exciting hunter stuff that we are working on.
So with the abilities updates for hunters, Golden Gun got a pass.
Yeah, so Golden Gun got a pass, does more damage, and now scorches on impact. We fixed an issue where you had to step outside of your well to get full damage. Now you can stay in the well. Outside of that, we saw in the gameplay gunpowder gamble. If you throw it and you shoot it before it explodes naturally, it does more damage, more radius, and also spits out little kind of seeker projectiles.
Yeah, and as we're getting our loot, we need to cover the Titan changes for Sentinel. Yeah, the big.
Yeah, Sentinel Shield. We're excited about this one. So Sentinel Shield is getting a shift a little bit.
A bit of a rework, right?
Yeah, a bit of a rework. The usage rates weren't great, and we want to provide something that is kind of on par with well, as far as like, what am I going to take into a raid to support my team? So in Renegades, your Sentinel Shield, as you're holding it up, your allies behind your shield are going to auto reload, and there's just kind of rhythm to it. So if you can fire at the right time, you can just like rocket. So like the actual like damage increase is big. Not only that, but as I guard my enemies and the shield takes damage, I'm charging this bar up that charges up my shield throw. And at full charge, that shield throw is going to do Thunder Crash level damage, which, depending on how players use it, maybe you even get 2 of those out. It's strong. And that's what we want, right? We want to
primeiro você segurando os seus seu fighting atirando através dele, além dos bônus de arma e tudo mais, a cada 2.5 segundos vai recarregar automaticamente as armas. E tomando dano, o Titan que está usando o shield vai encher uma barrinha, e quando ele soltar o shield vai ser dano nível Thunder Crash apenas.
And Tom, you had mentioned invasions earlier in the stream, and this is going to be our opportunity to show a little bit of that. A little bit of that flavor. We're going to look at some of the UI in the orbit screens and our new hollow.
Da hora, não do stream.
And then we're going to show what it is to be invaded. New optional activity type as well, right?
Yeah. So in Invasion, like you might be familiar with Gambit. This is kind of like a new take on that kind of familiar mechanic here in Renegades, and we want players that kind of take on the role of a bounty hunter working for the syndicates, tracking down these renegades that are messing up their operations, taking out their commanders, stealing their stuff, And so you get to be kind of play on the other side here. You get to play on the opposition.
Belo
So you're
mapinha,
kinda
belo
like all of the
mapinha.
enemy combatants on the field. You can kind of wade in amongst them and pick and choose the strategic moment where you want to kind of like lash out at these players and like steal their bounty.
Yeah.
And
So how do you launch into this?
so here's the holo map, just for everybody. This is kind of a standard interface for the Lawless Frontier. This is how you access the social space, all of our jobs, and then in the end game we unlock the yellow node, which is invasion, and the red node, which is the contested territory. So we can take a look at the contested node here. This is where all like every day the syndicates are fighting over one of the maps on each of the planets, and you can kind of, as a defender, kind of throw in your pledge to the side you want to fight for. But these are also invadable nodes. So one thing I want to highlight is that invasion is opt-in. It's not a requirement. So if players don't want to deal with PvP, they can do like an expert difficulty for this, or they can just go to any of these other nodes on the map here that aren't invadable. But for the priority, the contested node on the highest difficulties, like that's where the highest rewards are. That's where the invasion is. Now, on the other side, if you're an invader, you don't need to worry about the nodes. You can just go to the invasion node. You need to have some death marks, which are a currency you earn by playing by just playing Lawless Frontier. You'll just accumulate them. And one interesting wrinkle here is you can actually wager those for additional rewards. So if we go to the little pane here on the side, there's these things. There's the death marks. You can interact with them two or three times to double and triple your rewards, which obviously you're taking on some risk here. If you go do an invasion and it doesn't go your way, you could lose those tokens, but I think a lot of players are going to want to do this because they can just get triple rewards on each invasion, which is really exciting.
Muito legal que eles botaram um elemento PVP dentro das atividades da season, né?
If you take the invader down, you're going to get more time on the clock. You're going to get
Não lembro quando eles fizeram isso.
And every time you kill an invader,
Ser parte da atividade de season.
Extractables, which are rewards you can dunk at the end of the activity to get bonus armor, weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stellar. So let's get our invader launched in here. We'll go back to our gameplay team.
Yep.
But while we're loading in, let's talk about what is the actual like kind of approach to invasions. What are the objectives aside from seeking
Mostra
out
como
guardians and destroying them?
invasions. Interessante.
Yeah. So as an invader, you're gonna start in the ready room, which we're gonna show in a minute here. You're gonna pick your loadout, like what's the right renegade abilities to bring in, and we've seen in playtest there's like a lot of different fun combos here. Like, are you gonna bring in the deflector shield, and then like the other team's gonna drop one, and then you're fighting on the Venn diagram of the deflector shields, or are you gonna just be a little more brute force and drop a behemoth and like kind of like, but try to be sneaky about it? And that's pretty hard to be sneaky in a giant walker, but you want to really pick those moments as the invader, because your goal here is to get 6 kills or 3 kills and 3 crests. Like, you've got 6 points you need to get. You've got about 5 minutes to do it. You've got 3 lives. You've got just enough time to really kind of like see where they are,
mapa.
kind of like rotate around, and then do a surgical strike, and then try to get them all in one go. And if you're lucky, you can do that, but you've got a few chances. And on the other side, they're going to know you're there. They're going to see that there's an invader on the field, but they're also trying to juggle the objectives that are on their side.
Você invade a atividade de time, que animal. Agora que eu entendi.
Yep.
But only have
massa.
Only once.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool. And then one of the fun dynamics here too is playing the waiting game.
Que
You can instill a little bit of
massa.
anxiety in that team you're invading. So you don't have to hop in immediately and go guns blazing. You can wait until they're at a pivotal moment where they're like, where's
Que
this guy?
legal.
It's been 3 minutes. Where are
Wait until someone breaks off to go find a chest.
they? Yeah. Oh man. So in terms of balancing as well, are there any like extra abilities or things that
Muito legal,
players are
refinamento da
gonna have at
mecânica de
their disposal, or
invasão
is
de
it just a
gambits,
match
né?
of the renegade abilities?
Só que o
It's
modo
mostly
só
renegade
diz.
abilities, though.
Que
Invaders will
massa.
have some on a super, no heavy, and when they come in, we do highlight the PvE, the defender players, just so like they have a little bit of an idea where to go, and they can use that knowledge to kind of plan their initial attack.
Cool. Yeah, and it's been a bit of a balancing act as you've been going through this in the different cycles. In Gambit, like, we juice that invader because it's a 1v4. In this, because you have the chaos of the Lawless Frontier and all that kind of stuff. Like, you want it to be tilted a little bit because it's 1v3, but also you want to make sure if players are opting into this, they still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
So,
and there's also the element of the non-regenerating health, which is a larger health pool.
Ah,
We've
é, e tem
tuned
essa
it so
parada
it's-
do HP
it's
não
more or less,
recupera
the
sozinho,
same
né?
TTKs, the turn to kills, as you have in Crucible, but players don't regenerate health, so you kind of have to take that
Que
into
legal,
account
bicho.
when you are, when you're.
There's some attrition that can happen, like for the invader,
Que
where they can kind of slow
experiência
people down
massa
if
que
they're
vai
not
ser
paying
isso.
attention.
we have our invader in their ready room. Let's talk about their shank buddy here.
Yeah, here's our little shank buddy. You want to speak to any of these abilities there?
Yeah, so we have 9 renegade abilities here.
O
Huge shout
invasor
out
então
to
tem
Cat
boost,
Sayers
tem
and the
algumas
rest of
habilidades
the
extras.
tech design team for all their work on these.
Que legal.
I mean, it looks like right now we got Nate picking the Imperium Behemoth and the Drop Pod, but yeah,
Pelo que eu
there's
entendi, só
there's a
Invader,
variety
né,
of ones
tem
to choose
isso.
from. We
Que
got
massa.
multiple. We have 3 different vehicles, and each of those vehicles have different upgrades with different functionality.
Yeah, and the Behemoth has like
Ele invade pelo mesmo portal do
There's
Gambit.
like missiles and the audio and everything is just so good. Okay, so our invader has started. It looks like
Ué, já tá
moving
mostrando
toward
onde
our
o povo tá, é?
targets and preparing to throw that coin. So you can see there they clicked that right stick, and that is going to ready the ability. They then throw the ability and just drop the drop pod to get some
ammo
heavy
explosion.
ammo. Yeah. So
Eles
some
são
heavy ammo
Helldivers
going to
style.
battle.
And Tom, before we were hopping in here before the stream, we were talking about like the size of the maps and how as an invader, like the first few runs, you might feel maybe a little lost because there's a lot of space to cover. But as you get more acquainted with
Aí os
Europa
inimigos não
or Venus
atacam
or
o
Mars,
Invader,
you
será?
can find better paths to get directly to the combat, right?
Yeah, these
Olha,
are some of
já
our bigger
levou
maps we built. They're more comparable to like our larger public spaces that we built in Destiny. And again, there's 6 of them, and like there's any number of arenas these PvE players can be in that you're going to be.
Hey.
So our invader just wiped one out with the Thunder Crash and tried to hide and throw out the beacon for the
Walker.
The Walker, yeah, or the Imperium Behemoth as we call it. But then got needle stormed right before they could jump into it. That was incredible.
So that's one of those strategic moments of like, how do I put the chess pieces down? How do I approach this and all that?
That was interesting because they invalidated that beacon right before they could use it. So the timing was impeccable.
Oh man. Oh boy, what was I just talking about? Size of the maps. Yeah, in rewards, I wanted to ask really quick too. So as you're wagering, you add more and more. Is there like a cap? Is it double the amount of rewards, or do you have?
It goes up to triple. So each additional death mark you put down is we'll double or triple it.
Here we go.
Try again.
Here we go.
Jumping in.
Go Walker.
We're already taking a lot of
Hey.
damage.
And the more
I don't know if he's gonna do it. Oh, he failed.
Eita.
Oh, did they get him? Who got who?
Oh, we had so many conversations leading into this of like, hey, we need to make sure Nate hold back a little bit. And now I think one of our gameplay folks is just like, oh, Nate, you're mine.
deleted.
Yeah.
No, going back to rewards, the better you do as an invader, the more rewards you're going to get. So each kill, each crest you put on the scoreboard equals more rewards, and then those get multiplied.
Que legal isso do Invader, muito massa.
So Invader got defeated twice. The Invader
Simples.
has 3 lives.
Já tá no jogo, só tá aproveitando mais, bom demais.
Oh, he's coming back for revenge. And
Hey.
Shut down with the 3.
I'm never gonna let Nate lose this.
with the 3 coin wager too, or the 3 death mark wager.
He made a little bit there.
Good job.
So that's the I'm gonna put a little elbow in the ribs. The gambit you're taking. Ha 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 ha. So all right, we've gone through some Renegades content, rewards, all that kind of stuff. I would love to shift focus a little bit to our general rewards update. So in the portal, in a bunch of different activities, we're going to have some new weapons that we're offering. We also have an armor refresh for a bunch of our activities. And Bjorn, I'm going to put the spotlight on you.
Opa, novas
So
armaduras.
starting with our Vanguard Ops sort of armor
Opa.
set. This is going to be earned through Solo Ops, Fire Team Ops, and our new Arena Ops activity, which is bringing back 6-player activities to our portal, which is really exciting.
Opa, atividade de 6
It's gonna
jogadores
be
pro
kind of like
portal.
your militaristic, hey, I'm a grunt, I'm getting in there,
Ei,
I'm fighting
massa.
the Dark Forces.
Gostei muito
the
do
weapons,
Hunter, mas os
Bjorn
outros
Dahl,
dois estão massa.
Up front, we
Com
have a new
cheio de
pulse rifle.
certo, ó.
What do we got?
Yeah, it's a new arc rocket frame pulse rifle, so you have an energy slot option now to go with your mid-range grade. A lot of excellent perks on here. I know
Ali
a lot
tá
of people
plug
want
one,
the
né?
arc perks and weapons,
Tradicional.
and now you'll have it on a rocket pulse.
And then we have a fusion rifle and a sidearm, correct? Cool. And then we do have some weapons that we're not showing in this stream, so stay tuned for launch. But next up, we're going to have our pinnacle ops. So in our previous season, it was a kind of streetwear samurai, and this armor theme is Kendo. And then we have 2 returning weapons that I know players have been pretty excited about.
Curti as máscaras, mas o
Some new
restante.
perk combinations, but also a new heavy crossbow.
Yeah, so this is a new void crossbow to kind of fill out our elements for the crossbow now, and I think this one can get box breathing, which is new. Should be pretty good for what crossbows do.
Oh boy! So box breathing, aim down sight, get extra damage, and then run up to the enemy.
Box breathing, eu acho que é aquele perk que você segura uns 2 segundinhos, aí ele ativa, aí o tiro tem mais dano, né? Eu acho que é. É um perk, eu acho que de Scout Rifle, né? Posso estar viajando, mas eu acho que é.
Over the years, we've done thematic sets tied to weapon foundry.
Excelente para
So in the
PvP.
past, you've seen Hake, you've seen Tex Mechanica, and now Suros is up to bat for the Crucible, and Shax is going to be handing these out.
Interessante.
We also have some weapons up to
Familiar,
Fusion
mas
Rifle is a
com
returning favorite, I
updates.
believe.
Interessante,
Yeah,
hein?
Riptide's coming back. We have a new aggressive void hand cannon and a high impact
Massa o capacete
machine
do
gun.
Titan.
Awesome. And then let's see, last but not least, Trials of Osiris. So another offering for our PvP audience. A few eagle-eyed players may have seen this armor set yesterday, a little sneak preview,
Vazou
totally planned.
no PSN.
But yeah, we have a new armor set for each class.
Que coisa
and as you can
feia!
see, coming back
Pra
with the
que
glows, so
botar
as you
esses
get more
animal
wins on your
print e
card,
tudo
you
do
can unlock
Trials?
gold or red or blue. And then we have
A
some new
armadura é
weapons that are coming as
linda,
well.
a armadura é linda, mas esse
lightweight
Animal
void
Print
pulse
não
rifle with your
precisa.
favorite model.
I admit, since the set came out on the moon, Eris, all the crufty bits on it, cleaning it up.
Caramba, os
having,
braços do
sorry, what
Titan.
frame type did you say?
Lightweight.
Lightweight.
Putz.
Chef's kiss. I cannot wait. And then I believe also we have a preview of a hand cannon. Now, one of our folks on the gameplay team over here was whispering in my ear
Belos
day
cores.
by day, night by night, that these rolls are going to be a bit juiced, right?
Yes, yeah, this is a pretty juiced hand cannon. It's got perks for both PvE, PvP. It's a Strand 140. You can get stuff like Lone Wolf Precision Instrument or Slice Explosive Payload. So you have a lot of options to pick for both PvE and PvP.
Awesome. Yeah, and across all of our activity types, we're trying to sprinkle out some things that players will get excited about. Not just, oh, I'm going to go into PvE to get the PvE gun. Like, there are some PvP roles out there that you can get from your Fireteam ops. There are some PvE roles that you can get from Trials. And that doesn't even cover what we have coming in the dungeon too. Before we do a little dungeon teaser, I do have a quick announcement as well. As we're
hypezinho nessa
rolling through the
dungeon.
list. We have an open access week that's coming on December 2nd. So for any folks out there that haven't played The Edge of Fate, that is actually going to be included in this open access week. So if your friends haven't played, if you haven't played, hop in, check out the beginning of our new saga, and earn some cool loot on the way. It's available to all players for that week, and it also includes some previous content as well, campaign.
Todas as
and
campanhas
effort.
free
So,
para jogar até
let's see
lançar
here.
Renegades.
Dungeon. We wanna talk
Vão
about
jogar Edge
dungeon.
of Fate,
So,
vão jogar Edge of Fate
Equilibrium.
e
This
vão
is going to
jogar
be our
Edge
new
of Fate.
dungeon. The race begins
Tá de
on
graça.
December 13th at 10 a.m.
Curtinha a
so that's
campanha.
the second Saturday.
Curtinha,
We've
mais
already
ou menos.
announced the time, but if you haven't penned it in, if you haven't gotten your fire team together, get ready for contest mode. For those that don't know what contest mode is, on day one, right at launch, this is going to be a very difficult difficulty tuned for competition. So if you want to go and try to be the world's first completion, this is your place to shine. And if you win world first, we have a cool trophy or some goodies for you. So contest mode is going to be available for the first 2 days, 48 hours of the dungeon availability. You can earn a really spicy
Confirmando o
emblem and
contest
some
mode, né,
cool
para
stuff
dungeon.
as you go through that.
Deu muito bom nas
And after
últimas.
world first has been declared, we will also have normal mode. So if you want to give a pass on some of that harder difficulty
Se que o
content, you
primeiro
just want
time
to dive in and
concluir,
see what is,
libera a
what's
dificuldade
on offer.
normal.
That'll be there for you.
Normal.
So before we move on, we actually have a fun trailer to show. We can go ahead and roll it.
Trailer. Da dungeon? Será?
I've made real. I've marshaled a new Imperium to snuff out the light.
A dungeon é no Star Destroyer.
My violence is yours. You know what comes next.
Braba, armadura, bem jedaica. Bem Jedi. Olha. Equilibrium, animal, animal, animal. Belo nome. Belas armaduras.
Welcome back. So, watching that trailer, I just realized we actually missed something with Invasions. We were talking about the Praxic blade and customization. There are different saber colors, correct?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of classic colors that I think players are going to have fun chasing down throughout the end game and maybe even Invasions.
Disse que eles deixaram passar isso aí do
We
save.
showed it on the screen. Red, Invasions.
Mas
Yeah.
eles comentaram
okay,
que
moving
dava pra
right along,
personalizar.
ending out our show, we're going to be covering what is going on through the end of the year. So during the launch window, we'll have some really cool things coming around. Vanguard orders are coming in week 2. And then after that, we're going to have the Dawning returning. So this is our winter celebration, our event, inviting Guardians to hop in, play some activities,
Geralmente são as armaduras mais belas do mundo. Cadê,
for
cadê?
their favorite vendors in our tower.
Meu
So Tom, just a really brief
olha a armadura
description
do
for folks that may not know what the Dawning is.
Yeah, so the Dawning, you slay our enemies, you collect
Não tem
them as
nada de
ingredients,
Natal. É o que?
and you
Urso
bake
polar.
them into delicious treats you feed to your friends in the tower like
Meu
Zavala, and he's just
amigo,
got
que armadura é
thousands
essa?
of Galardoodles raining down upon him, and he
essa
gives you a
armadura.
gift in return,
Meu amigo.
which could be, a spicy weapon roll, or you might maybe get some bright dust from some other pursuits and get this totally cool Winter Wolf armor.
Meu
I
Deus.
feel like Drifter is outside, like, ooh, you're putting enemies into the cookies? But yeah,
It's totally a Drifter thing.
right. The Winter Wolf set, this is going to be available for Bright Dust just by playing the game, or if you want to snag it from Eververse for silver, go right on ahead. But also on top of this cosmetic, we have new weapons that are going to be a part of the Dawning.
Yeah, so we have a burst linear fusion rifle, a breach ring launcher, and a precision sidearm. And then
Massa.
also with this
Essa
excellent
de arma
new
é
olive
bela.
oil treatment. It's like
Terei todas.
customized, and then as you fire,
Eu
it
acho que
slowly melts
começa
away.
The Dawn exatamente quando eu fico de férias.
Oh, and sorry, I have one correction being whispered in my ear. Dungeon race starts at 9 a.m. Daylight savings time strikes again.
Gets us every time.
Every time. Oof. All right. So with that Dawning preview over, we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. As I said earlier, it has been a monumental effort. A ton of folks throughout the team have been crafting this experience, collaborating with Lucasfilm Games, and really just making something for you, our players. And we really, really hope you enjoy it. So thank you for coming. We're going to kick it back to our launch trailer here in case you missed it at the top. And again, if you missed the VIDOC launch trailer, check out our YouTube. And after this, stick around. We're going to be handing it off to one of our community members, Leopard Stealth, a friend to us for many ages, a guardian of all time. But also, I don't believe he existed before 2004, I've been told. So, 04 bust. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Ah, gente, belo stream, belo showcase. Acho que eles estão segurando até muito na empolgação dos trailers e tudo mais, para tudo ser muito surpresa, pra gente saber, a gente começar esperando que é esse conteúdo muito legal que eles estão mostrando, mas quando a gente chegar no jogo de fato tenha muito mais recheio nesse hambúrguer. Enfim, dia 1 estaremos jogando Destiny 2 Renegades, mal posso ver a hora pra gente jogar, e The Dawning dia e noite e tudo mais, enfim. Gente, brigadão pela companhia, uma galera passou por aqui, muito bom ter pessoas simpáticas para compartilhar esses momentos. Se cuidem, se divirtam, bons jogos, não deixem de curtir para apoiar o canal, se vocês curtiram. Que viram, e save point diariamente à noite. No momento agora está sem horário definido, o horário é à noite. Geralmente está rolando por volta das 11 e pouquinho, mas vamos organizar aqui os horários e tudo mais, comentando as principais notícias do dia e nossa jogatina diária, né? Mas é isso, gente, se cuidem, se divirtam, até o próximo programa, valeu!